NLWN-TV presents the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Now, join us as we get ready for baseball in the dugout.
Hello and welcome to In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we are getting ready to bring you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball as the Cavaliers take on the Beef River Bullfrogs in a Chippewa River Baseball League matchup. Today's game is a makeup game for the one originally scheduled for May 21st. However, rain kept that one from happening. Now the Cavaliers are coming off an 8-3 win over the Whitehall Whitetails yesterday, while the Bullfrogs faced the Osseo Merchants last night and came away with a 10-0 loss. Now coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Bullfrogs. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. Following that, we'll take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League and see where things stand. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from historic Carson Park in Eau Claire. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action. And we'll do just that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will take on the Beef River Bullfrogs in a makeup Chippewa River Baseball League game from Carson Park in Eau Claire. Now, the Cavaliers are coming off an 8-3 win over the Whitehall Whitetails last night, while the Bullfrogs also played last night and are coming off a 10-0 loss to the Osseo Merchants. In the Cavalier game last night, the Cavs were led at the plate by Diego Casedo, who went 4 for 4 and drove in a run and belted a triple to the center field fence.
And there's a fly ball that's under the deepest part of the ballpark. It bounces to the base of the fence. Casedo's going to try to stretch it to 3, and he's going to come in safely with a triple. Diego Casedo has a 4-hit night with a triple to right center field.
Also having a big night at the plate was Logan Hesselman, who went 3 for 5, scored twice, and laced a double to center field.
And the pitch. That was belt high, and it's a deep fly ball out into center field. At the base of the fence. And Hesselman checks into second base with a double.
Cole Timon drove in a run in the 4th inning with a hit to center field.
Ground ball over toward short, gets through to center field. Run comes around and comes in to score. And Timon has an RBI single.
And Carson Windeshausen picked up an RBI with a single to center in the 7th inning.
There's a fly ball. That's deep, but not
down
all the way deep. And they lost the track of it, and it fell to the ground, and it's a base hit. It's an RBI single for Windeshausen.
Defensively, Ashton Kroll got an unusual put out when he fielded a ball to left and fired it to second to force out Bryce Shorbon.
Fly ball out into left field, and it's in, and they got him at second. I guess that has to go as a fielder's choice. The ball hit the ground, fielded by Kroll, who fired to second base to Diego Casedo for the out. And so Killian gets on a fielder's choice, 7-4.
On the mound, Cooper Dykes picked up the win, going 7 innings and allowing 3 runs on 7 hits while striking out 10 and walking only 3. Eli Rathke came on in a non-save situation to throw the final 2 innings and allowed no hits while striking out 3. The Beef River Bullfrogs have gotten off to a rough start as they sit with a 1-5 record in the CRBL. Now, back on May 28th, the Bullfrogs hosted the Cavaliers at Spangberg Field in Strum, where the Cavaliers came out on top 14-6. The Bullfrogs are being led at the plate by Will Thibodeau, who's hitting at a .455 pace. He's followed by Ryan Gray, who's batting .429. Hank Munson at .368 and Eli Huzaga at .333 round out the Bullfrogs hitting over .300. In limited appearances, Ethan Bartles is batting .333. On the mound, Ethan Bartles has accounted for the only Beef River win in league play with a 1-0 record and an ERA of 3.50. He's followed by veteran pitcher Wes Boyarski, who's pitched 19 innings and has an 0-3 record with an ERA of 5.90. The Cavaliers are currently being led at the plate by Carter Veith, who's hitting at a .421 with an on-base percentage of .522. He's followed by Sam Knickerbocker, who's hitting .353, Brayton Tillman at .342, and Xavier Bemnister at .333 round out the Cavaliers hitting .300 or over. In limited appearances, Ashton Cole is hitting .385, while Cole Timon is swinging the bat for a .333 average. The leading pitcher thus far for the Cavaliers is Andrew Milner, who has a 3-1 record with a 2.52 ERA, which includes a no-hitter. Aiden Ecker is right behind with a 2-0 record and an ERA of 1.32. Eli Rathke is 2-1 with a whip of 2.25, while Lucas Cosley and Xavier Bemnister have each picked up a save. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective as we chat with him on The Ryan Bemnister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemnister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bemnister Show.
Once again today we're at the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. Ryan, today the Cavs are going to take on the Beef River Bullfrogs. But before we talk about this game, which is a makeup game for a game that got rained out back on May 21st, today's game, like I said, is a makeup game, and the Cavaliers have had to reschedule the conclusion of last Sunday's game with Cadott that got stormed out. And I'm sure it's not as easy as it may appear, but can you explain the considerations and the processes that you need to go through to get games rescheduled?
Well, you got to look at two team schedules to begin with, Beef's and ours. You want to make sure that you're not hindering yourself or that team, because really, when you look at it, I'm a big advocate that you want to play a team at their best. You never want to play a team at their worst. Okay, I don't care. Some teams think a little different. I'd rather not think about that. I want them to be best because that makes us better. So you don't want to have them playing in a 7 games in 5 days. It's not crazy where they're not going to have enough pitching. I mean, nobody in this league has enough pitching to do, let alone, 3 games in a week or 5 games in a week. And us, we got 6 and 8 days. So, I mean, we're gonna be taxed right there. But I mean, you want to make sure they're at their best. So look at their schedules. Make sure you're not crowding the schedules too much. And then we got to work because it's a home game. We got to work at the mercy of the city for what the dates are available. Luckily, when we put our schedule together, I try to hang on to 1 or 2 days for rain dates. So we're going to use that one rain date that I have this year. The other one's already gone because we had to release it for something else. And when we go for Cadott, I'll have to look at the other dates that are available. You want to avoid all the music festivals and you want to avoid any holidays, but.
And
it's not like the baseball stadium at Carson Park is not heavily used. I mean, you've got the Cavs, you've got the Eau Claire Express, which have a very heavy home schedule, and then you have other organizations using that ballpark, ball teams, and other
Legion
things like
baseball,
circuses.
high school baseball. There's a circus there this last weekend. I mean, it's just there's a whole bunch of stuff, and they also don't want to crowd everything up. So if there's another thing going on there, like the chainsaw competition, they don't want to have us playing there all 3 days. The chainsaw thing's going on because they got 1,000 people coming in out just for that, and then we bring our crowds in, and it makes it hell on earth for the city to kind of control that stuff. So you really got to look around what the city schedule is like for the parks. Obviously, we want to keep all of our home games at Carson. You know, worst case scenario, you can move it to a field like Fairfax, or Stein, or even Mount Simon for usable purposes to get a game in. But you want to really try to get your home games at your home park.
Well, it is one of the claims to fame for the Cavaliers is that they play at such a historic ballpark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when I was talking to Ethan about the game tonight, he had mentioned, he goes, I'm really glad you got scheduled at Carson because the boys really like to come play to Carson. And I think that for probably 8 out of the 11 teams in this league, most of their teams are like, I really like coming playing Carson.
In fact, after the rain out in Cadott, wasn't that kind of the reaction you got from the Cadott teams? They
talking to some of those guys I've known for a long time, they're like, we're really glad this got rained out because we really want to play at Carson. And I said, I get it. I understand. It's a beautiful park to play at. You know, there's a lot of beautiful parks in this league and stuff like that. But, I personally, I don't think there's a better park in the state than Carson. So.
Now, tonight the Cavaliers are going to be taking on those always pesky Beef River Bullfrogs, who seem to always make it really tight through about the first 5 innings. And then the Cavs end up asserting themselves. You swept the 2 meetings last season. You defeated the Bullfrogs earlier this year down in Strum. What can you tell us about the Bullfrogs?
They hit really well. They hit in bunches, which really put some pressure on our pitchers and our defense. Their pitching's pretty good. They got, they're a little deeper than they have been in years past, which is good for them. A lot of times they run out of it by if they're playing a doubleheader, they'll have a bunch of good pitching for the first half, and then that second game they're just piecing it together. But they got 4 or 5 guys that can throw, and throw really well for them. So they're a different team than we've seen in years past, and they're always highly competitive with us. And like I said, their bats are kind of dangerous. We could, when we played there, it's a little bit smaller field and things like that for them over in Beef. But when you come to Carson, it levels the playing field a little bit more with their bats because of our defense is really well, and the park's built a little bit more for our team than their team.
Now, do you know who's getting the call to the mound today?
Aiden Ecker is the plan of attack for today. He just threw against Plum City. We wanted to throw him just probably 5 or 6, and that's what he did. So we're going to go with him to start the mound, and then we're going to throw the puzzle pieces on the table and see which one we want to put in next.
And Aiden Ecker is off to a pretty hot start with the Cavs. Kind of a pleasant surprise. Maybe not so much a surprise for you, but for us lay viewers, he's 2-0.
Yeah, he's thrown really well for us. He's one of those guys that he's only got a couple of pitches, but he throws those pitches really well. I know he's working on another 1 or 2 to kind of mix in there a little bit. He's been working with our catchers with that when they've been throwing in games and in bullpen sessions and stuff. And he also is one of those guys, I really appreciate him because he kind of lives in the zone. He doesn't really walk a lot of guys, and he sets himself up for a chance to win by letting the ball be put in play and create outs for him.
And remembering that he's got 7 guys behind him and 1 in front of him that can also make really good plays.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those good things this year. We've been blessed with really good defense behind our pitchers and stuff. And we're going to beat this dead horse in the ground, I guess. But we got to get the bats rolling more with consecutive hits. We got to get bunches together and put up crooked numbers early in games to give some relief to these pitchers that have been working really hard.
Now, we've mentioned it already. This is part of a week from hell for the Cavaliers. We've got 6 games in 8 days. So let's take a quick peek ahead.
Let's do that.
What does that leave you for pitching for Saturday's doubleheader against Bloomer?
Looks like for Saturday's doubleheader against Bloomer, we're going to go Millie in Game 1 and Rathke in Game 2.
And there probably isn't a whole lot of
bullpen left at that point.
There won't be a lot of bullpen at all. We would probably go to position players at that point. We got, we're hoping that because they get these 2 9-inning games back to back, we get long starts out of those guys. We can maybe throw Gash in one of them and Hav in the other one, because we're going to be missing Hav for the weekend set against Bloomer, so we won't need his arm, which was a surprise to us that his arm was that well. But if we can save another guy that's a regular pitcher in the bullpen, like a Gash and like a Costley or something like that, for those games on Saturday, that would help. And hopefully we can jump on those guys big and we can kind of coast out, and I can pull guys off the mound early and save them for that big game on Monday against the Bears. Which
it doesn't get any easier.
It doesn't get any easier, no. So then we go to the Bears. I'm pretty sure we play that Wednesday or something silly, or Friday or something. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of games. So we got to, we'll see what we can do from there.
Well, Ryan, good luck on today's game. Hopefully the Cavaliers can find a way to extend their winning streak against the Bullfrogs to 10 games.
I hope so.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bempnister Show, presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bempnister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Welcome back to In the Dugout, as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's CRBL game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Beef River Bullfrogs. Last night, the CRBL had 3 games scheduled, including the Cavaliers traveling to Melby Park in Whitehall to face the Whitehall Whitetails, with the Cavs coming out on top 8-3, while the Beef River Bullfrogs dropped a 10-0 decision to the Osseo Merchants at Spangberg Field in Strum, and the Augusta Athletics traveled to Cinder City Park in Altoona to take on the Eau Claire Bears, where the Bears emerged victorious in an extra inning affair, 5-4. Now that leaves the CRBL standings as follows. In the North Division, in first place at 7-0 are the Cadott Red Sox. Just 2.5 games back at 6-4 are the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks, and in third place are the Jim Falls Sturgeons at 4-6 and 4.5 games out. In fourth place are the 2-5 Tilden Tigers, while in fifth are the Bloomer Woodticks. In the South Division, the Eau Claire Bears sit in first at 8-2, while the Cavaliers are in second at 6-2 and are only 1 game out. Just percentage points behind the Cavaliers in third place are the 8-4 Osseo Merchants, who are also just 1 game out of first. The 3-5 Whitehall Whitetails are in fourth place and 4 games back, while the 2-7 Augusta Athletics are in fifth, and the 1-5 Beef River Bullfrogs are in sixth. Today, the only CRBL game scheduled is our game, with the Cavaliers hosting the Beef River Bullfrogs. So, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile. This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more in the dugout coming right up.
We come from a long line of farmers, and there's a sense of pride, but there's also a significant amount of pressure.
Farmers have to take care of their physical and their mental health, because what's a farm without a farmer?
Watching the sun come up, that's my time. I can have a cup of coffee, and every day is a new opportunity.
That's cool.
Your hand's gotten so Yay!
Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love, your mind.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today the Cavaliers will get back to league play as they're hosting the Beef River Bullfrogs. The Cavaliers want to keep right on the heels of the Eau Claire Bears, and the Cavaliers would also like to extend their winning streak over the Bullfrogs to 10 games and make it a clean sweep of the season series. So the Cavs are ready to take on the Beef River Bullfrogs, and we'll have all the action of that game for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll be joining the rest of our broadcast crew at historic Carson Park in Eau Claire as we get ready for today's Chippewa River Baseball League game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Beef River Bullfrogs. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
You quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early, when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Stay tuned! Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Here we go, feeling the fire. Cavalier spirit,
NLWN-TV proudly presents Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers as they defend their Chippewa River Baseball League title.
Under the lights where legends are born, diamond warriors with heart that's worn, uniform shining, proud on the field, a title to defend, a promise revealed. Cavalier champions, hear the crowd roar, defending our title, we're hungry for more.
So now, let's go out to the ballpark in today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game.
With victory in sight and a future so bright, together we rise, Cavalier spirit in flight.
And good evening, and welcome to Carson Park with Rick Olson. There we go. I'll get the right microphone here, and we'll be ready to go. Rick Olson here at Carson Park, along with Sealy Bemnister on the computer. Dan Petchow going to bring us a color commentary, and Ben Ryder on the camera tonight as he bumps it with his elbow and sends you all into an earthquake. And believe it or not, we're going to have baseball here. It was very wet just a little while ago. Ben, if you can get a good shot down along over there by third base, you can see there's still some water standing there, and that's what's causing us a bit of a delay here. They did a lot of work trying to get the field playable. It's just about there, and so we're going to be off to a little bit of a late start. And with that, we're going to send it to a bit of a rain delay until we're a little closer to game time. But we are going to have baseball tonight. And so you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV.
We are in a weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. We are in a weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. We are in a weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. We are in a weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. Weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. We are in a weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears. We are in a weather delay. Stay tuned. NLWN-TV will be right back with more baseball action just as soon as the weather clears.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow and Seeley Bemnister and Ben Ryder. And we're getting ready to bring you Cavalier baseball against the Beef River Bullfrogs. A game that was rained out once, and we weren't going to let it happen again. We are going to have some baseball here tonight. We're going to be getting started in just a few minutes. And Dan, do you have the starting lineups down there at your end of things?
I don't.
I thought you had them on your phone or something. And
you know, I do. I didn't even think about that. All right, here's the lineups for tonight.
Can you read them?
I can. Here's the starters right for the Beef River Bullfrogs. Batting first will be their third baseman, Austin Yeager. Batting second will be their left fielder, Kyan Mogg. Batting third will be their shortstop, number 13, Will Thibodeau. Batting fourth will be their center fielder, Hank Munson. Batting fifth will be their extra hitter, Ryan Gray. Batting 6 will be their designated hitter, Reese Lucas. Batting 7th will be their catcher, Taylor Rathke. Batting 8th will be their first baseman, Eli Huzaga. Batting 9th will be their second baseman, Justin Becker. And batting 10th will be their right fielder, Dylan Fox, with Wes Borowski on the mound. Batting for the Cavaliers tonight, batting first will be their center fielder, number 9, Diego Casado. Batting second will be their left fielder, number 4, Xavier Bedminster. Batting third will be their designated hitter, number 35, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting fifth will be their catcher, number 17, Carter Veith. Batting sixth will be their extra hitter, number 19, Cole Timon. Batting seventh will be their third baseman, number 10, Logan Hesselman. Batting eighth will be their left fielder, number 28, Ashton Kroll. Batting ninth will be their second baseman, number 13, Riley Kopinski. Batting 10th will be the right fielder, number 22, Trenton Palmer. With tonight, Andrew Miller is going to be number 25. So Andrew Miller on the mound for the Cavaliers.
And I guess that's what happens when you forget the correct jersey at home and they have to scramble and find one that will work for you. So Andrew Milner on the mound for the Cavaliers tonight is coming into tonight's game with a record of, the wind is trying to blow my papers around here, 3 wins and 1 loss. He's got an ERA of 2.52. The pitcher for the Beef River Bullfrogs, Wes Boyarski, it has a 0-3 record with a 5.90 ERA. He's got 19 innings pitched. And I'm going to turn it over to the public address announcer for the rest of his starting lineups.
The catcher, number 17, Carter Veith. Batting 6, the extra hitter, number 19, Cole Timon. Batting 7th, the first baseman, number 10, Logan Hesselman. Batting 8th, the left fielder, number 28, Ashton Kroll. And batting 9th, the second baseman, number 13, Riley Kopinski. Batting 10th, the right fielder, number 22, Trenton Palmer. Pitching for the Cavaliers tonight, number 25, Andrew Milner. The Cavaliers are coached by Ryan Bedminster. He is assisted by Brian Meyer and Ryan Page. Tonight's umpires, on the bases, Larry Durkup, and behind home plate, Andy Patko. If you could now please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
And the playing of our national anthem here at Carson Park as we're getting ready for the start of today's game. Umpires for today, we have Larry Durkop is out on the bases. And behind home plate, no, it's not a ghost, it's Andy Pafko. For those of you not familiar, Andy Pafko was a famous baseball player out of Boyceville, ended up, well, he's not in the Hall of Fame, but there's a lot of people that feel he ought to be. Had quite a major league career. In fact, give you some background on Andy Pafko. You're going to be able to find out all about him during Saturday's doubleheader with the Bloomer Woodticks, because we have the Between Games program, Eau Claire Baseball Memories, and this particular episode that's coming up on Saturday is called Andy and the Hammer, and Andy Pafko is... Now, this isn't the same Andy Pafko. I just thought the name familiarity was kind of interesting. And so, Dan, we're going to have some baseball today.
Yeah, it actually dried up halfway decent. There's a little muddy down at third base, but otherwise the field looks great. So we've had a little time off here from the rain, but this field does drain off water pretty good, though.
At least that's what your father told me back when he used to work out here.
Yeah, my dad and my uncle, and they can tell you if you dig a hole, you know how fast it's going to drain off this field, because they never wanted to miss a game.
Right. Taking a look at the Cavaliers defensively as Andrew Milner is finishing his warm-up tosses at third base is Xavier Bemnister, Kate Erickson at shortstop, Riley Gopinski at second, Logan Hesselman's over at first, Carter Veith behind the plate. Out in the outfield, it's Ashton Kroll, Diego Casedo, and Trenton Palmer going from left to right. Cavs coming off a pretty solid 8-3 win over the Whitehall Whitetails last night, and turning right around and playing again today, and then they got to turn around and play again on Saturday, and that's going to be so much fun. They're going to play two.
Why not?
So leading things off for the Bullfrogs is Austin Yeager, the third baseman. Yeager comes into the game batting 167. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. You know, Dan, it is kind of nice to be back up in this press box where we get a good view of home plate.
Yeah, last night we had up-down. We can see left-right here.
And that one was just a little bit low because it did catch the outside edge. Milner into his motion and delivers. And that's a strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. There's a high pop up into shallow center field. Erickson's under it. He drifts into the infield, makes the catch. So that's 1 away. And it's going to bring up Kyle Mogg, the left fielder. Mogg comes into the game still looking for his first hit in the CRBL. And that pitch is outside. Oh, caught the outside corner. And the pitch, swing and a miss. And the pitch. Foul back off the face of the press box off to our right.
Yes, we want to welcome Celie Bemnister up to the press box as she's working the computer for us. Just a word of warning, Celie, be ready for those. They come in here fast. In fact, right behind me, somewhere over here, there it is. There's a mark on the wall where one came flying in and hit that back wall and bounced right back out the window again. That almost got Dan.
Felt the breeze.
And there's a swing and throw down to first, and they got him. That goes in the book as a strikeout. As Veith chased down the loose ball. I see them doing a lot of grooming down around the home plate area. In fact, everywhere where there are players, they're trying to get the field to dry out even more. It's still pretty sticky out there. That's going to bring up Will Thibodeau, the shortstop, and that pitch missed. Thibodeau leading the team, batting .455. Check swing, strike called on the inside corner. One ball, one strike, two down. And the 1-1 pitch. That strike called on the outside corner. Milner looking in. And the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball over to short. He picks it up and throws it over to first. It's in time for the out. So 6-3 on the put out for Will Thibodeau. Erickson over to Hesselman. And the Bullfrogs go down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody out. Or nobody left, I should say. And we played a half inning. It's the Beef River Bullfrogs, nothing. Cavaliers coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
And we're back here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom half of the first inning, as the Cavaliers have coming to the plate Diego Casado, Xavier Bemnister, and Caden Erickson. Taking a look at the Bullfrogs defensively, Austin Yeager's over at third, Will Thibodeau at short, Justin Becker is at second base, Eli Huzagas at first, Taylor Rathke behind the plate, Kyle Mogg in left, Hank Munson in center, Dylan Fox over in right field, and Wes Boyarski on the mound. Diego Casado is going to get things started off. He'll be followed by Xavier Bemnister and Caden Erickson. Casado had a big night last night for the Cavs. He went 4 for 4 at the plate. And he's a lot of fun to watch when he gets on the bases, because wherever he is, that's not where he's going to stay.
Yeah, Casado's got speed.
Boyarski at the belt, and he delivers, and that's down low. One ball, no strikes. A little bit of a late start tonight. And there's a fly ball out into center field. That could fall in, and it does. Casado rounds first with a big turn, but he's going to stay there.
Next up for the Cavaliers.
That's going to bring up third baseman Xavier Bemnister. Bemnister batting .297, and the first pitch is a called strike. And the pitch. Ground ball over to third, knocked down by Yeager. Throw to second for one, throw to first, not in time. Bemnister is going to be on a fielder's choice. And it's third to second, or 5-4.
Next up for the Cavaliers, the shortstop, Caden Erickson.
That'll bring up Caden Erickson with one out. Erickson batting .250 on the year. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball over to short. Scooped up by Thibodeau. Tossed to second, and Erickson beat it out at first. So, again, we have a fielder's choice. And that's going to be going 6-4 as Bemnister is out at second. And Sam Knickerbocker, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Knickerbocker batting .368. That pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch, that's inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Erickson on first. Erickson takes his lead, and the pitch caught the outside corner. Swing and a miss. Strike two. The count's all even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down. And the 2-2 pitch outside. Count goes full. It's going to be traveling time now for Caden Erickson. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Erickson's off on the pitch, and it's inside, gets away from the catcher. Erickson rounds second, takes a big turn, but stays there as Knickerbocker draws the walk. That's going to bring up Carter Veith. Carter Veith is the catcher today, and he's batting .409 on the season. Boyarski looks at second and delivers. There's a strike. Right over the inside third of the plate. Again, Boyarski looks over at second. And now he delivers. And that caught the outside corner. 0-2 now to Carter Veith. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out into center field. Backing up is Thibodeau, and he makes the catch. So for the Cavaliers,
no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 were left on base, and we've completed an inning, and it's the Cavaliers nothing, Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Heading into the top of the second inning. Due up for the Bullfrogs, Hank Munson, followed by Ryan Gray, and then Reese Lucas. Munson comes into the game batting .368. As he steps in. And here's the pitch. Check swing, he didn't go. It peeled down to Larry Durkop on the bases, and he said, nope, he didn't go. So a ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch, that one's fouled away off the right side. Milner looking in, and he delivers. There's a strike right down the middle of Water Street. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. There's a chopper back to Milner at the mound. Toss over to first, and it's in time. So Munson grounds out, pitcher to first. It's going to bring up Ryan Gray. Ryan Gray batting .429. Well, Dan, I'm keeping our fingers crossed here. It's actually a pleasant evening for baseball. A little cool, but pleasant.
Yeah,
now that the rain stopped.
Yeah, the rain stopped, wind died down.
That pitch was outside for a ball. Milner looking in and delivers. Check swing strike called. Ryan Gray thought about it. Guess he should have thought again. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's high for a ball. And Milner delivers. That just missed inside. 3 balls and a strike now to Ryan Gray. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Big cut there.
Well, Ryan Gray's a big guy, and he does have power. Trying to use it there.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Milner came back with the heat and got the strikeout. That's going to bring up former Cavalier Reese Lucas. He's making his first appearance at the plate in a CRBL game. That doesn't include their game last night that I don't have numbers for. That pitch was high for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike at the letters. Milner delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And the 1-2 pitch. High pop fall back behind us.
That ball is brought to you by Madison Street Auto Body.
Count remains 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Check swing foul at the plate. Evidently, he didn't foul it. They called it a ball. I heard it hit something, but it must have been Knickerbocker. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. And Andrew Milner has faced the minimum through 2 innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We played an inning and a half, and we have no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
Auto Vision Center in Eau Claire, your source for auto glass repair and replacement. Their quality work comes complete with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. When it comes to windshield repair and replacement, Auto Vision Center provides mobile auto glass services with free estimates. So if your windshield needs help, call Auto Vision Center today. That's Auto Vision Center at 1631 North Claremont in Eau Claire. Call 715-834-5277.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Going into the bottom of the second inning, Cavaliers got some runners on base in the bottom of the first, but they just couldn't seem to get them to move around the bases very much. So let's see if they can take that a step beyond this half inning. Cole Timon will be leading things off. He'll be followed by Logan Hesselman and Ashton Kroll. A lot of teams would call this the meat of their order. That central part of the Cavalier order is pretty solid right now.
Yeah, if you really look right now, they had 1 hit, but they had 2 fielder's choices and a walk. You know, really,
So
it's like 3 hits.
Yeah, they're making contact with the ball. They just have to hit it where they ain't, as Wee Willie Winker had said. So Cole Timon steps in, batting .313. He's the extra hitter. Boyarski delivers. Timon sends it back to Boyarski, who can't find the handle. Finally gathered it in and made the throw over to first. So Timon grounds out. Pitcher to first. It's going to bring up Logan Hesselman.
For the Cavaliers, the first baseman, Logan Hesselman.
Hesselman batting .333. That pitch is outside. Again, that ball by Timon that he got a hold of was a sharply hit ball just right at somebody. And the pitch. That one got Hesselman, I think, maybe?
No.
Nope. It went behind him. So it's 2 balls, no strikes. And that pitch just a little bit low. You know that move that Hesselman made, had I been in the batter's box, I would have been hit for sure, but my caboose is considerably larger. There's a strike called on the outside corner.
Well, you'd just be at first base right now.
That's true. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The count is full. Boyarski's pitch fouled off on the left side.
That foul ball is brought to you by Auto Vision Center.
And the payoff pitch down low for ball 4. So Hesselman draws a walk. That's the second walk given up by Boyarski. And it's going to bring up Ashton Kroll, who's batting .389. That pitch is high for a ball. Kroll is the number 2 hitter on the Cavaliers. Seven for 18. That's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball over towards short. Scoop there, throw to second for 1. They're not even close on the first. And another fielder's choice.
For the Cavaliers, the second baseman, Riley.
So Hesselman is out, short to second. As Kroll is safe at first. He takes his lead. And there's a chopper down the third base line. It's a fair ball, got knocked down into foul territory. And that's going to be an infield hit for Riley Gopinski.
Yeah, I don't know if it got hit or if it took like a funny bounce in the mud or something.
It did bounce in fair territory. It was a fair ball and then hit the glove.
Okay, did hit the glove.
And ricocheted foul. It hit the glove of Austin Yeager over at third base. So Cavs have 2 runners on now. Kroll's at second, Gopinski at first, Trenton Palmer at the plate. That pitch is low and away for a ball. Palmer batting $1.25. Runners take their leads with 2 down. Fouls that one back into the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch. That's inside. Home plate umpire Andy Pafko does tend to like that inside corner a lot. Got to be careful. The 2-1 pitch. That caught the outside corner. Counts even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. And the pitch. That's high. Count is full, and again, it will be traveling time. With Kroll at second, Kapinski at first. They'll be off on the pitch. They're going, and it's a foul back. Are you ready, Dan?
I could see the threads on that one.
That was only about, 8 feet to Dan's left. And it's fouled back into the screen.
Yeah, there's like little gaps up here on the facade that where it can trickle through, and it went out the hole. So it's out in the parking lot somewhere.
So Seeley, your dad wanted us to send you out on the roof to get it, and thank goodness you don't have to. Check swing, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded. We go back to the top of the order with Diego Casado.
Yeah, now Steve Kent, he'd be crawling out there.
He'd be out there already, yes. Diego Casado singled to center field his first time up. Kind of a Texas League single. And there's a strike inside third of the plate. And there's a line shot out into center field. It falls in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run. And Casado gets a 2 RBI single.
Just finding that little gap between center and left.
Third baseman Xavier Bemnister.
That's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister with runners on the corners. All right, Dan, how many pitches before we see Casado head to second? There's a soft liner, foul ball by about 6 inches down the first baseline.
Yeah, if he does go, they got to let him go because we got a runner. Cavs got a runner on third base.
Well, with 2 out, they could make play on him. But Casado's got such good speed. I really have my suspicions that he's not going to stay there very long. No balls and a strike to Xavier Bemnister, who grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball over to third. Throw over to first, and it's in time. So the Cavaliers do pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 2 innings. A lot of 2s there. And it's the Cavaliers 2 and the Beef River Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, June 14th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Bloomer Woodticks in a doubleheader from Bloomer Ball Field in Bloomer, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 o'clock noon. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Saturday, June 14th on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum. Located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And don't forget, the summer hours for the Chippewa Valley Museum are now in effect. Go to cvmuseum.com for more information. Also, coming up on Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m., the Chippewa Valley Museum would like you to join them for a no-admission open mic night at the museum featuring true-ish or maybe not storytelling, poetry, music, and more. Sign up at the event for a 5-minute sharing slot. That's at the Chippewa Valley Museum. And the first pitch to Taylor Rathke is swung on a miss for strike one. Rathke batting at 125. And there's a called strike two. And the pitch. Ground ball over towards first. Hesselman makes the play, gets it to, and they got him. To Milner, covering. Hesselman went way over to his right, made the stop, and flipped it to Milner, who won the race to the bag for the putout.
The first baseman, Eli Huziga.
So in the book, that goes down as a 3-1 covering. Eli Huziga comes to the plate. And swung on a miss for strike one. Huziga batting .333. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Milner looks in and delivers. And that one's fouled back into the net. A ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, he pulled the stringer on that one.
And that is the 4th strikeout for Andrew Milner. And Justin Becker comes to the plate. Becker comes in batting .333. And the pitch. There's a chopper over to third. Bemnister fields it, throws it over to Hesselman, who made the scoop, and they got the out. Again, Milner faces the minimum. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 2.5, and it's the Cavaliers 2 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Get that ad on.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning, due up for the Cavaliers, we have Caden Erickson, Sam Knickerbocker, and Carter Veith. Cavs with a 2-0 lead against the Beef River Bullfrogs. Be honest with you, I had my doubts whether we were going to get today's game in, but They got the field dried out to where it's at least playable.
On the third for the Cavaliers, the shortstop.
And I know that they have a limited number of available dates for being able to make up rainouts. And they've got a game with Cadott that has to be concluded, and that date has to be finalized.
Yeah, this is a busy field.
It's a very busy field. And that pitch is inside for a ball to Caden Erickson, who grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. Between the Cavs and the Express, that takes care of a lot of it. That one was outside for a ball.
Maybe we'll have to get NLWN-TV Stadium.
Now there's a thought. High and away. 3 balls, no strikes. If there's any sponsors out there that would like to help out with that project.
Can you tell that my dad was in the land use for Eau Claire County?
And there's a strike called on the inside corner.
Wherever there was an open piece of property, we're filling it.
Pop up! And that came down into the net, kind of right in front of Dan.
Yeah, you know, this little edge isn't much. You gotta
and it
watch
goes out of our view, and you don't know exactly what angle it's coming down at, whether it's going to come down and hit the windowsill.
Yeah. I still haven't caught one. I'm due.
Full count to Caden Erickson. And the payoff pitch. It's outside for ball 4. Erickson draws the free pass. It's going to bring up Sam Knickerbocker, and he drew a walk his last time up. That's the 4th walk given up tonight by Wes Boyarski. Knickerbocker swings and misses for strike 1. He's kind of mad at himself.
Out in front of that one.
And that one missed inside. Yeah, I think that previous one that he swung at, I think the bottom dropped out on it too. Erickson takes his lead at first. And that one caught the outside corner. And the pitch. Ground ball out into right field. Erickson stops at second. And Knickerbocker has a base hit. And that's going to bring up Carter Veith.
For the Cavaliers, the catcher, Carter Veith.
Carter Veith popped up to the shortstop last time up. And that ball got by Rathke, and that moves both Erickson and Knickerbocker up a base. Erickson's now on third, Knickerbocker on second. And there's a shot out into left center field. It's going to fall in. Got overrun by Munson. 1 run's in. 2 runs come in. And checking in at second is Carter Veith with a 2-run or a 2 RBI double.
Yeah, found that gap there between center and left.
And that puts the Cavs up on top 4-0.
For the Cavaliers, number 19, Cole Timon.
That's going to bring up Cole Timon. Timon. Now, wait a minute. We got a pinch runner going in. For the catcher. This is a courtesy runner. Dan, did you make out the number? I think that was Ryan Hall.
Yep, number 5.
And that pitch got blocked by Rathke. 1 ball. No strikes. Cole Timon. Timon grounded back to the pitcher his last time up. And the pitch. Line shot out into left field for a base hit. Hull rounds third, but he's going to hold up there. And Timon has a base hit. So runners on the corners for the Cavaliers. It's going to bring up Logan Hesselman. Hesselman drew a walk his last time up. And the pitch. It's inside for a ball. Got knocked down by Rathke.
Yeah, good save by Rathke. Saved another run from coming in.
I do believe that baseball catchers would make pretty good hockey goalies.
Yeah.
That one caught the outside corner.
Action in the Bullfrogs bullpen, number 29.
Well, that would be Reese Lucas. That one's outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. And that pitch missed inside, so it's 3 balls and a strike. You know, Dad, it's quite a difference between last night and today. Sam Killian last night took a lot of time between pitches. Wes Boyarski does not. There's a fly ball out into center field. Drifting back is Hank Munson. He makes the catch. But tagging and coming in to score for the Cavaliers is Ryan Hull. So Hesselman gets a sacrifice fly to center field. And that scores Ryan Hull to put the Cavs up 5-0. And Ashton Kroll comes to the plate with 1 out. Runner on first. That's Cole Timon. And a pop foul back out of play. Into the net. Kroll grounded into a fielder's choice to the shortstop last time up. That's ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. There's a shot out into right field for a base hit. Timon's going to hold up at second, and Kroll rounds first.
That's what happens when you just stick your bat out there. Just a little looper over the first baseman.
And we're going to get a conference at the mound. And we'll see if this is actually going to be a pitching change or if he's just...
Yeah, I wouldn't think yet because 29 just went out to the bullpen. I think you got to give him a little more time to warm up.
Now, Reese Lucas is the designated hitter, so if he comes in to pitch, that means they're burning the designated hitter.
Yeah, and with 1 out, see if he can get through this inning.
Ethan Bartles is looking down into the bullpen, and I think he's looking to see how ready we are. Andy Pafko cleaning off the plate has not gone out there to... Well, now he's heading out towards the mound to hurry things along a little bit. You don't have forever to make a decision out there. And Ethan Bartles said everything he needed to say. They're going to leave Wes Boyarski in. And stepping to the plate, Riley Gopinski, who got on an infield hit. That was that one that was right down the third base line, and Austin Yeager dove to get it, and it went off his glove out into foul territory, and Gopinski was safe at first. One ball, no strikes. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. Again, that's not a bad strategy by the Cavaliers if the pitcher's having a hard time finding that strike zone. That one got past Rathke, and each runner advances. So Cole Timon over at third, and Ashton Kroll is at second. And it's 3-1 to Kapinski. Sends a ground ball foul. That was almost the same spot as the last one. Just about a foot further, and it landed over there in Lake Michigan down the foul line.
Yeah, that ball will have to be retired for the night. Sitting right in the pond.
Yeah, it just looked like a big bobber, maybe. Now, you were fishing over the past couple days, weren't you, Dan?
Yeah, I didn't use a baseball as my bobber, though.
There's another ground ball. Ryan Bemnister did a nice job of fielding that one. So it didn't end up over there in Lake Michigan.
Put him in the lineup.
Boyarski delivers, and it's inside for ball 4. That's going to load the bases and bring up Trenton Palmer. Palmer drew a walk his last time up. And he hits a fly ball out into right center field. Moving over is Munson, and he makes the catch. Runner tags, comes in to score. And so Palmer gets a sacrifice fly. And so coming in to score is Cole Timon. And that is 100 career runs for Cole Timon.
That's a big milestone.
That is a big milestone. That's why the big cheer came out of the Cavalier dugout. Cavs now on top 6-0. And there's a foul ball. There you go, Dad. Oh, yeah. That almost took a ricochet towards you there.
I think I'm in the wrong seat tonight.
And the pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Tell you what, Seeley has learned it pays to pay attention up here. That one's high. 3-1. Diego Casado's at the plate. He's 2 for 2. That makes him 6 for 6 in the last 2 games. There's a fly ball. Kind of into no man's land, but moving over is Kyle Mogg, and he makes the catch. So for the Cavaliers, they pick up 4 runs. On 4 hits, there were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we have played 3 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 6 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Back here at Carson Park as we head into the fourth inning, I believe. Yeah, top of the fourth. The scoreboard is a little mixed up, but that's okay. Due up for the Beef River Bullfrogs, Dylan Fox, and then back to the top of the order. Andrew Milner starting his fourth inning of work. Thus far, he's faced the minimum. Swing and a miss, strike one. And the pitch. That one sliced foul off the right side.
That foul ball is brought to you by the Goat Coffee House.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike called. So Dylan Fox goes down looking. Fifth strikeout on the night for Milner. Takes us back to the top of the order. Austin Yeager. He popped a short his first time up. Here's the pitch. Check swing. That one got by Beef. It's outside for a ball. And that's a strike called. And there's another strike. One ball, two strikes. Austin Yeager. And there's a curveball broke right over the middle of the plate. It looked like it was coming inside and went right over the middle for a strike three call.
Yeah, we could see that one.
That was real pretty from up here. I don't think Austin Yeager thought it was pretty, but it was a pretty looking pitch. Some people would just call that nasty. Two down, and Kyle Mogg steps to the plate. He struck out swinging his first time up, and he gets a swing and foul tip into the glove for strike one. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. One ball, one strike. And that just missed inside for a ball.
Look good from here.
Must have been maybe a little bit low, because you're right, it looked like I got the corner. And the pitch. Ground ball over towards short. Erickson scoops it. Throw to first. And they call him safe. It's going to be an infield hit going to Kyle Mogg.
That was a long throw for Caden Erickson.
That's the first hit given up by Milner.
Next up for Beef River, shortstop.
That's going to bring up Will Thibodeau, who grounded to short his last time up. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out into center field. Casado goes over and he makes the catch. So, for the Bullfrogs, no runs, one hit, no errors, and one left on base. We have played 3.5 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 6 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
NLWN-2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menominee Blue Caps. Our first broadcast will be on Monday, June 23rd, as the Blue Caps face the Flat Rock Bear Clan from Michigan and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, June 23rd on NLWN-2.
So we're going to head into the bottom of the fourth inning with the Cavaliers up on top 6-0 over the Beef River Bullfrogs. Wes Boyarski still on the mound for the Bullfrogs. And due up for the Cavaliers, we have Xavier Bemnister, Caden Erickson, and Sam Knickerbocker. I want to remind you that Saturday we're going to be bringing you Cavaliers doubleheader against the Bloomer Woodticks from Bloomer, and our coverage is going to begin at noon with the In the Dugout show, and it'll be followed by all the play-by-play action. Weather forecast for Saturday is a whole lot better than it was for today, so I'm sure that we won't be delayed then. So stepping up is Xavier Bemnister. He's grounded the ball over to third twice. One was a fielder's choice and one was a third to first put out. But this is a looper out into right center field, and it falls in for a base hit.
Yeah, the Cavaliers are finding the gaps right now.
Yeah, I was going to say the hits continue for the Cavs. It's going to bring up Caden Erickson. Erickson grounded into a fielder's choice, drew a walk, scored a run. And he follows that one back into the net. And pitch. Strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. That one's low and away for a ball. One ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first, and that one got Caden Erickson in the elbow.
Tried to get the curveball, and it didn't curve in.
It's called taking one for the team there, Caden Erickson. And we're going to get a conference at the mound. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change. So while we do that, we're going to take this time out on NLWN-TV.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Being a cowboy, I don't know anything different. I had a very successful career. Life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I start my day with a workout. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and...
New pitcher for the Bullfrogs is Reese Lucas. And Wes Boyarski went 3+ innings. Gave up 6 runs. 6 are earned runs on 8 hits. Did not strike anybody out. Walked 5. And the first pitch is a called strike to Knickerbocker. And Boyarski's also responsible for the 2 runners that are on base. And that pitch missed low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Knickerbocker. Check swing, strike called on the inside corner. One ball and 2 strikes, nobody out, 2 runners on. And there's a shot snagged by Yeager. He kind of stuck his glove out, and look what I found. Over there at third base, the runners had to scramble back to first. So Knickerbocker lines out to third, and it's going to bring up Carter Veith, who last time up had a 2 RBI double out to center field. And there's a pitch at the letters. Well, with Reese Lucas coming into pitch, the Bullfrogs no longer have a designated hitter. Runners go, and it's fouled at the plate by Carter Veith. Lucas has made an appearance on the mound this year. He's gone 1 inning. Has no record as of yet. Has not allowed any earned runs. That pitch is high and away for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. That's Erickson out on second. Or check that. That's not Erickson. That's Bemnister out on second. Seeley would have given me an earful if I didn't give him credit for doing that. He fouled that one off the right side. Erickson's on first. I knew he was out there somewhere.
He got hit by a pitch.
Lucas delivers. Check swing outside for a ball. Counts even at 2-2. And the pitch. There's a ground ball foul. Made some people scramble down by the Cavalier dugout. And the pitch. Outside. The count now goes full. Pretty decent speed on the bases. This would not surprise me if the Cavs ran a double steal here. And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Coming in hard. It's going to fall in. And safe all the way around.
Yeah, Becker got kind of turned around. He had run out and kind of lost it over his shoulder.
And the outfielders were not going to get there in time.
The extra hitter, Cole Timon.
And we have a courtesy runner going out. That's Cooper Dykes, I think.
Ryan for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Cooper Dykes is now running for Carter Veith. Cooper Dykes was the winning pitcher last night. Cole Timon at the plate, looks at strike one over the outside edge. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tipped, they're saying. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. There's a looper out into right field. Moving over is Dylan Fox. He dives. He cannot make the catch. And
they're going to get
all right,
one.
Let's see how many they get. I think they get 1 run. Oh, yeah, that wasn't the third out. So, all right, so Timon gets credit for a base hit. Well, actually, I guess that's a fielder's choice. 9-4 as Dykes is out. 9-4. But coming in to score is Bemnister. And there's a strike called to Hesselman. And Erickson's on third. And strike 2 called. And that got Hesselman in the hip. So that'll load the bases for Ashton Kroll.
For the Cavaliers, the left fielder, Ashton Kroll.
Kroll singled to right field his last time up. As they say, the Ducks are on the pond. Erickson's on third. And Timon is on second.
There's a big gap between center and left right now. They're kind of, unless he moves over, which he is kind of.
The pitch is high for a ball. And there's a strike called on the outside corner. And the pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Lucas at the belt, and he delivers. Swing and foul back. Counts even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bases loaded. Cavs on top, 7-0. And there's a chopper foul down the first baseline. Here's the pitch outside. It gets away from Rathke. Nobody advances. And the count is full. So we're going to have traveling time on all 3 bases. The highways are going to be jammed because everybody's going to be traveling. Dan, you've driven the shuttle for a number of years. You know what that's like. When everybody's traveling. They're off with the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. And they all forgot something as they have to go back. Lucas at the belt. And the payoff pitch. Runners go. Ground ball over towards third. Picking it up, throwing it over to first is in time for the out. So the Cavs finally go down. They do pick up a run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 3 were left on base. So we have completed 4 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 7 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/act now.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Yeah, we have some changes. Jerome Delikowski is in. And
an 11 for 4.
Okay, so that means into the lineup for the Cavaliers, Brayton Tillman is now at third base. And Jerome Delikowski is at first. And the pitch is high and away for ball 1 to Hank Munson. And out in right field is Carson Windeshausen. And the pitch, that's high for a ball.
Did you get the switch at third and short? Was Caden at third? Or was he at shortstop? Oh, actually.
He was at short.
Now he's at third. And that Ashton Kroll goes to short.
And the pitch. That's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hank Munson. And that one's fouled back. Okay, so we got where they went in the batting order. So where are they defensively? You say that's Erickson is now at third?
Correct. Yeah, and Ashton Kroll goes to short. Delikowski's at first.
And foul back just off to our right. So Erickson's at third. Kroll. My guess is Tillman's out and left then.
And 13 is at second.
That's Kopinski. That's where he's always been. And that just missed. Full count now to Hank Munson. Milner looks in and he delivers. There's a ground ball through the hole out into right field. Hank Munson's on with a base hit. Second hit given up by Milner.
And 32 is in right field.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Next up, for Beef River, Ryan Gray.
Bunch of changes for the Cavaliers defensive here.
One ball now, no strikes to Ryan Gray. Struck out his last time up. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first. Delikowski made a spectacular looking fall over catch at first base.
Yeah, graceful.
And that's a strike at the letters, and Ryan Gray did not like that call. He's still shaking his head over that one. And that pitch is high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Chase the high heat.
It's the second time Ryan Gray has struck out today. It's going to bring up Reese Lucas, who's now the pitcher. He struck out looking his last time up.
Sorry, Reese Lucas.
6 strikeouts right now for Milner.
And the pitch, fly ball, sounded like a broken bat, and it was. He's not very happy about that. Foul ball off the left side.
Yeah, Rick, have you praised bats lately? that's a lot of change that just went down the drain right there.
Yeah. You do have a lathe, Dan.
I do.
Wouldn't that be a good side hustle for you?
Yeah. You can get 1 hit out of them probably before they break, but...
No balls, 2 strikes. Reese Lucas with a new bat steps into the box. And the pitch. There's a ground ball over to third. Throw to second for 1. And they're going to not try to make the double play. But they do get the fielder's choice. Erickson over to Gopinski. And that's going to bring up Taylor Rathke.
Pitcher, Taylor Rathke.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into center field.
Trouble.
Coming in and making the catches, Diego Casedo. And so the Bullfrogs go down in the 5th inning with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 4.5, and it's the Cavaliers 7 and the Beef River Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game?
Tickets are inexpensive. There's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, Cavaliers with 5 runs on 9 hits. They've committed no errors. The Beef River Bullfrogs, no runs. They've got 2 hits, and they've also committed no errors. So the game has been played cleanly. Just the Cavaliers have been the team getting the hits tonight. And due up in the bottom of the 5th, we have Riley Gopinski, Trenton Palmer. Well, actually, no, it's Carson Windishausen now. And then we'll be back to the top of the order with Diego Casedo.
In the bottom of the 5th for the Cavaliers.
So Riley Gopinski steps to the plate. He's got an infield single and he drew a walk. So he has reached successfully both times he stepped up. And that one got him high and inside. It got Gopinski.
For the Cavaliers, Carson.
Trying to get a curveball to come down and didn't.
And it's going to bring up Carson Windishausen. And Windishausen comes into the game batting .222. Swing and a miss. He was a little behind that one. Gopinski takes his lead over at first. And he goes to second, and he's safe. So Gopinski gets the stolen base. The pitch was a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes to Windishausen. And it's outside.
Yeah, I think Rathke thought it was good, but called outside.
Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Windishausen. And the pitch. There's a high hopper. It's going to get through to left field. And Gopinski's going to hold up at third. And the Cavaliers have runners on the corners. Takes us back to the top of the order. Diego Casedo, who's 2 for 3 tonight.
Diego Casedo.
So in the last 2 nights, he's 6 for 7. That's a good couple of games. And there's a shot right over into the glove of Will Thibodeau. You know what? I'll take the blame for that. That's the announcer's jinx again. We've been pretty good at laying that on people lately, Dan. Braden Tillman is at the plate, and he takes a called strike. Tillman's batting .342. And he fouls that one back.
That foul ball
Good jump by Carson Windeshausen there. He's got to come back, but
he had the base stolen standing up. No balls, 2 strikes to Brayton Tillman. And the pitch, Windeshausen goes, it's fouled back into the screen again. Windeshausen is going to have some words for Tillman pretty soon here. He's wearing himself out.
Yeah, and Rathke's got to be careful because there is a runner in third.
Only 1 out. Lucas at the belt. He delivers. And that one's fouled back. Windeshausen wisely chose not to go that time. Count holds at 0-2. And the pitch. That's high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Brayton Tillman. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. That's about 4 fouls in a row, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, good battle right now.
The 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. So Brayton Tillman is the first Cavalier strikeout victim of the night. It's going to bring up Caden Erickson. Erickson's 0 for 1 on the night. Make that 1 for 2. Nope, not quite.
Cool.
As Becker gets back and makes the catch. I thought that was going to come in and fall down, but nope. So the Cavaliers go down, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We've played 5 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 7 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Auto Vision Center in Eau Claire. Your source for all glass repair and replacement. Their quality work comes complete with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. When it comes to windshield repair and replacement, Auto Vision Center provides mobile auto glass services with free estimates. So if your windshield needs help, call Auto Vision Center today. That's Auto Vision Center at 1631 North Claremont in Eau Claire. Call 715-834-5277.
We're going to go into the 6th inning. Andrew Milner still on the mound for the Cavaliers. Taking a look at the Cavs defensively since a little bit got readjusted. Caden Erickson is now at third. Ashton Kroll is at short. Riley Gopinski still at second. Jerome Delikowski is over at first. Carter Veith still behind the plate. Out in the outfield, it's Brayton Tillman, Diego Casado, and Carson Windeshausen. Eli Huzaga at the plate for the Bullfrogs. And the first pitch is high for a ball. Huzaga struck out his first time up. And the pitch. There's a high pop-up in the infield. Gopinski moves in, drifts back, and makes the catch. Well, I was worried about that one. That was high enough it could have drawn rain out of the clouds that are left, and we don't need any of that.
You know, if you look, I think it's like misting. If you look at the lights.
I
thought it was fog.
I think you're right.
I thought it was fog, but I think it's just a little mist.
And that pitch is fouled away off the right side by Justin Becker.
So maybe that's how it started misting from that baseball.
Well, it could be. That went a long ways up there. Becker grounded to third his last time up. That pitch is inside for a ball.
And Monroe likes my humor, if she's watching.
There you go, Ann. That's a shout out to you. There's a fly ball out into center field. Diego Casado slips, and he makes the catch from his knees. Diego Casado with the catch out in center field. He slipped, fell, kept his head in the game, and made the catch. That's going to bring up Dylan Fox, who struck out looking his first time up. That pitch is inside. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. And the pitch. There's a strike called. One ball, two strikes, two down. And that's fouled at the plate. One ball, two strikes. Still. Milner delivers. Strike three called. And Dylan Fox goes down looking for the second time. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 5.5, and it's the Cavaliers 7, Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
So we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Cavaliers on top 7-0. On an evening when I sincerely doubted that we were going to have baseball. There was a lot of water on that field. But Carson Park drains nicely, and it did. And we were able to get this game in. We had about 45-minute delay to the start of this game tonight, but I'm really glad to see the game getting in.
Yeah, you can't see any water out here anymore.
Not much. Down the warning path towards the Cavalier
that's right.
bullpen down there, there's a little bit down there. If the Cavaliers can hang on and win this game, they will move to within a half a game behind the Eau Claire Bears in the CRBL South, which puts a lot of emphasis on that doubleheader on Saturday against the Bloomer Woodticks that we will have for you right here on NLWN-TV, with our programming beginning at noon from Bloomer. Due up for the Cavaliers, Sam Knickerbocker, Carter Veith, and Cole Timon. Knickerbocker lined a shot right to third base that was headed down that third baseline. Could have been extra bases. So he's 1 for 2 on the evening. Also drew a walk. And that one's outside. We have a new pitcher out there for the Bullfrogs. And it's Ivan Nespel. And that's ball 4. That's the second walk Knickerbocker has drawn.
Next up for the Cavaliers, the pitcher, Carter Veith.
And Veith pops one up. Foul territory on the third base side. And over there making the catch is Yeager. So that's one down. That'll bring up Cole Timon. Timon's 1 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch is a called strike. There's a fly ball out into right center field, falls in for a base hit. Timon rounds, and he's heading towards second, and he's in safely with a double.
And good job by Sammy. He turned to second, fell, and he got it, and still made it.
Because who knows if Sammy Knickerbocker was going to be heading back and to second after slipping, but then he saw that Timon had the legs of churning. And Timon is, I think, just dropping off equipment. He is. So Knickerbocker on third, Timon on second. It's going to bring up Jerome Delikowski. That's high and inside for a ball. Nispel delivers. That's outside for a ball. By the way, the numbers for Reese Lucas. He went 2 innings, gave up no runs on 2 hits, struck out 1, didn't walk anybody. He did hit 2 batters. 3 balls, no strikes to Delikowski. And he grounds that one down the third baseline foul. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Strike 2.
I guess you're right. It's full count. We do have a new third baseman down there for the Bullfrogs.
Number 11.
And that's Ethan Mogg. So Delikowski has a full count on him. Runners at second and third. One out. Nispel delivers. Fly ball out into center field. Munson is under it. He makes a catch. Knickerbocker tags and comes in to score. So Jerome Delikowski gets a sacrifice fly. And an RBI. So Knickerbocker scores, and it makes it the score Cavaliers 8 and the Bullfrogs nothing.
For the Cavaliers, the left fielder, Ashton Kroll.
Ashton Kroll comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Singled to right for his one hit. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Nispel delivers, swing and a miss, strike 2. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left field. Moving over is Kyle Mogg, and he makes the catch. So for the Cavaliers, they do get 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors. And we had 1 left on base. So we have played 6 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 8 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
And in that message about the Chippewa Valley Museum that we just saw, don't forget that the summer hours for the museum are now in effect. So check out cvmuseum.com. They've got all the information for you. They have a fun event coming up on Saturday, one that we're not going to be covering, but the Menominee Blue Caps are going to be playing here at Carson Park, and that's all sponsored by the Chippewa Valley Museum. Some vintage baseball. It'll be over on one of the softball diamonds, I believe at Galine Field, if I'm not mistaken. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. 2 balls. No strikes. And a ground ball. Milner grabs it, throws it over to first. It's in time. And that was Ethan Mogg at the plate.
Next up would be Frederick Kyle Mogg.
That brings up Kyle Mogg. Kyle Mogg is 1 for 2. He got on an infield hit. Pops that one foul out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by Ivan Lake Adventures.
Here's the pitch. Line shot. One hops to Erickson, fires it over to first, and they got him. Nice scoop that time by Delikowski. And so Kyle Maugg grounds out 6-3. It's going to bring up Will Thibodeau. Or that wasn't Erickson, I'm sorry. That was Ashton Kroll made that play.
At shortstop? We got a different shortstop.
You're right, we do. There's a nasty curveball again.
12 for 28, so number 12.
Is it a 12 out there?
I wrote that down.
12 came in for 28, but I don't know if it's 12 over there. Okay. Check swing.
No. It is number 9.
You know what? That's Diego Casado at short. That's inside. Tillman is moved over to center field.
Chase the high heat there.
And I'm not sure who's in left now.
Mm-hmm.
That could be Ecker. And the pitch. Ground ball foul. Got a little
number
English
12
on that.
Number 12 is in left field.
Yeah, that's Aiden Ecker. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down to Will Thibodeau. 0 for 2 on the night. And that curveball missed outside. He tried that nasty one again.
Yeah. We've seen that one a few times tonight.
Count is full. Milner fires. Inside, ball 4. And Thibodeau draws the walk.
Hank Munson.
That is the first walk given up by Milner tonight. It brings up Hank Munson. He's 1 for 2. Singled his last time up to right field. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Thibodeau takes his lead, and the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Threw the fastball by him, high in the zone.
See if he brings that big curveball now.
Milner looks over at first. And the 0-2 pitch. No, he came back with the fastball, foul tipped. Two balls, 2 strikes. Or check that, 2 strikes, 2 outs. I know there were 2 twos up there. And there it was. Strike 3 called. And the Bullfrogs come up with no runs on no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. It's time for the 7th inning stretch as the Cavaliers have an 8-0 lead on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menominee Blue Caps. Our first broadcast will be on Monday, June 23rd, as the Blue Caps face the Flat Rock Bear Clan from Michigan and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, June 23rd on NLWN-2.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
So we're going to go into the bottom of the 7th inning. I'll be honest with you, Dan. I think the Cavs would like to pick up a couple runs in this bottom half of the inning and bring an end to this game.
Yeah, I think they got good bats coming up, and they can end it right there.
Due up for the Cavaliers will be Riley Gapinski, and he'll be followed by Carson Windeshausen and then Diego Casado. Ivan Nispo on the mound. Gapinski is 1 for 1. He's also walked and was hit by the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner.
Must have caught the tip of the outside.
Yeah, that front corner. The 0-2 pitch. That's outside.
It was close.
Gapinski had a notion. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That's going to bring up Carson Windeshausen. He singled to left his last time up. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Wind is blowing from right to left across the field. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
It's got a little nasty on those pitches right now.
He does, because Windeshausen has not even come close on either one of them. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Nispo looking in. Shook off a couple signs. Now he's ready and delivers. Heads up! That one was coming towards us. Ben was bailing out. I almost landed in Seeley's lap over there. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, good pitch there by number 47.
Ivan Nispo has 2 strikeouts this inning. It's going to bring up Diego Casado. Now, Ben, you're supposed to catch those. That pitch is outside for a ball.
You know, when they're coming at you, it's so slow looking, but it's actually fast.
It was sizzling. That was outside. Actually, hit the outside of the window between us and the PA announcer, Brian. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. That was low. 3-1. Casado is 2 for 4 tonight. Here's the pitch. That's a strike called. Outside corner. Count is full. With 2 down. And the pitch. There's a shot out into right field. So Casado on first. It's going to bring Brayton Tillman, who struck out his last time up. And there's a ground ball right back to the mound. Throw over to first for the 3rd out. So the Cavaliers get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We've played 7, and it's the Cavaliers 8 and the Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, June 14th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Bloomer Woodticks in a doubleheader from Bloomer Ball Field in Bloomer, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 o'clock noon. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Saturday, June 14th on NLWN-TV.
Andrew Milner going to start his 8th inning of work. As the Cavaliers are on top, 8-0, and due up for the Beef River Bullfrogs, Ryan Gray, Reese Lucas, and Taylor Rathke.
Leading off the 8th inning for Beef River, Ryan Gray.
Gray is 0 for 2, struck out twice. Here's the pitch. That's high for a ball. And the pitch. That's high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Gray. Milner delivers. Swing and a miss. Two balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Foul back into the net. Two balls, 2 strikes. The extra hitter, Ryan Gray. And there's a fly ball foul on the right side. Count holds at 2-2. So the Cavaliers have a little bit of a defensive adjustment again. We have Erickson at third, Casados at short. Ecker is out in left now. Tillman's moved to center. The rest are all still the same. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. I think Milner kind of pulled the string on that one, and Ryan Gray was out in front of it. That's the third time he has struck out. In bowling, when you do that, it's called a turkey, right?
Yeah. You know, we think it's nasty up here. Just think if you're trying to hit it.
And that pitch just missed a little bit low for a ball. This is Reese Lucas at the plate. Swing and a miss. Or check that, it's not Reese Lucas. This is Ivan Nispel. Because he came in to pitch for Lucas.
Foul tip there.
One ball, two strikes. Swing and a miss for strike three. So two down.
Now batting Cookie Forever, number 5, Ethan Bartles.
That's the 11th strikeout for Andrew Milner. Ethan Bartles coming up for Taylor Rathke.
There's a little history between Bartles and Milner. A little smirk there by Ethan. And then a big smirk by Milner.
And the pitch is inside.
I think if I remember right, Ethan Bartles coached him at North. I think that's what.
I think you may be right.
At the same high school.
That's inside. 2 balls, no strikes. And, of course, we have to mention it every time we see Ethan. He is a former broadcaster with us here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Bartles swings and misses.
Chase that one. He wanted that one.
2 balls and 1 strike. Milner delivers. Swing and a miss. He threw the fastball by him that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Milner looking in. He winds and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bartles chased the high fastball. And Milner struck out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 7.5, and it's the Cavs 8, and the Beef River Bullfrogs nothing on NLWN-TV.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We will be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cavs up on top, 8-0. Taylor Rathke re-enters the game after Ethan Bartles hit for him. So he's back behind the plate. Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Cavaliers, Caden Erickson. Erickson is 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded into a fielder's choice, popped out to second. He's also walked and was hit by the pitch. He did come around and score after he was walked. And the pitch. There's a soft liner out into center field for a base hit, and Erickson's on. That'll bring up Sam Knickerbocker. He drew a walk his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Single to right and line to third. Knickerbocker also came around and scored. That pitch is outside. In fact, Knickerbocker scored a couple times today. Well, yeah, he's scored a couple times. Pop up in the infield. Nisball under it, and he makes the catch. Another of those rainmakers. It's going to bring up Carter Veith. Veith has a 2-hit day going for him. He's 2 for 4. 2 RBI double, and then he singled. That one missed outside for a ball. Erickson with a short lead. And the pitch. That's outside. It got by Rathke, and Erickson heads down to second. That's a pass ball on Rathke. And the count is 2 balls, no strikes to Carter Veith. And the pitch. Pop up. First base area, and making the catch for the out is Eli Huziga. That'll bring up
number 8.
Lucas Costley, the guy who's always begging for a time at the plate. He's in for Cole Timon. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Costley has 4 at-bats on the season. He's batting .250. So he's 1 for 4. That's outside for a ball. And the pitch. That's down low for a ball. Costley in for the extra hitter. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Out in front of that one.
And Costley tips that one away, so now the count is full. 2 down. Caden Erickson on second. Nespo checks second, and now delivers. There's a fly ball out into right field. That could fall in. It does! Costley's going to hold up at first as Erickson comes in to score.
Yeah, just a little looper.
Give Costley an RBI as Erickson came in. That makes it 9-0, and Jerome Delikowski comes to the plate. Costley, by the way, represents the game-ending run. Costley takes his lead over at first. And the pitch. Foul back into the chest protector and face mask of Taylor Rathke. And that pitch is low. Nespel delivers. Fly ball out to left field. And Moore can't make the catch. And Costley checks in at third. That's going to be, I think they're going to charge an error on that. They did.
Yeah, he went to turn to look, to throw, and he took his eye off the ball just for a split second.
So that's an error on Kyle Mogg. The game-ending run is on third right now, with Aiden Ecker at the plate. And he hits a ground ball over to short, picked up, dropped, throw over to first, and he's safe at first. Costley comes in to score. That should end the game. That's going to be an error on the shortstop as Costley comes in. And that does end the game. The final score is going to be the Cavaliers 10 and the Beef River Bullfrogs nothing. And we'll be back with Talkin' Baseball right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball with a look back at today's game.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour. What do you think?
You got jokes. You're funny.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here getting ready to do some Talkin' Baseball as the Cavaliers come away winners over the Beef River Bullfrogs by a score of 10-0. Cavaliers picked up 10 runs on 14 hits. They committed no errors. And the Bullfrogs had no runs. They only had 2 hits, and they did commit 1 error. And The winning pitcher going the distance, or at least 8 innings, I guess that's going the distance because that's all it played, was Andrew Milner, and he did a dandy of a job throwing just a 2-hitter, and Wes Boyarski picks up the loss for the Bullfrogs. So Milner goes to 4-1 on the season. Boyarski goes to 0-4 on the season. And we will have Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister shortly coming up here and talking with us on Talking Baseball. He's getting a little bit of stuff done down by the dugout right now. And so I'll tell you what, we'll take a bit of a timeout as we wait for Ryan Bemnister to come. And we'll take this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ball game. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, June 14th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Bloomer Woodticks in a doubleheader from Bloomer Ball Field in Bloomer, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 o'clock noon. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Saturday, June 14th on NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
And we're back here at Carson Park with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. Congratulations on that 10-0 win over the Beef River Bullfrogs on a night when I didn't think we were going to have baseball.
Yeah, it was dry the whole time after I got that field cleaned up. Good job with the grounds crew of Caden Erickson and Cole Timon and myself, so it's good work.
You guys put a lot of work into that. There was a lot of standing water down there, and you got that field playable, and then the Cavs responded by playing a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, we got a hell of a pitching performance from Miller.
And it's exactly what you needed with this week of baseball. We talked about this. We're sounding like a broken record because we've talked about it all week. But you've needed pitchers to go deep, and once again, that's exactly what you got.
Yeah, and we're finding out they're going to get shorter and shorter on those guys that are throwing because we got a couple guys going on vacation I didn't know about. So we're gonna have some fun this Saturday and Monday and Wednesday and Friday and Sunday again. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, it was good to see Millie go out there. You know, again, Beef River always plays us tough. It's just ridiculous. I mean, we have so much fun playing those guys. They have fun playing us, and it's just it was a 10-0 game or whatever. It was an 8-inning game, and it was very slow moving to get those runs in because, like I said, those guys know how to play ball. So,
and what I kind of enjoyed seeing was the amount of friendly banter there was between the teams. It sounded like trash talk, but it wasn't. Like I said, it was friendly banter, giving each other friendly hard times.
Yes, 100% that's what it was, and I hope that's how everybody heard it on the broadcast and stuff. These guys really like each other. You saw through the handshake line. Most of the guys were hugging and stuff like that as opposed to high fives. They all have a mutual respect for each other, and it's just a fun team to play. They're a good team to play. They're just, they're coming up, and they're going to get better, and I know they're going to get better, and they got, Rathke and Bartles and those guys got that team going in the right direction.
Well, and it was kind of fun to watch that battle between Milner and Ethan Bartles, because if I'm not mistaken, Bartles may have coached Milner in high school.
Yeah. So like I said, they all know each other because Bartles with the North connection and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to play those guys, and I'm just glad we got out of here with a win. And we're able to save a couple more arms. We got everybody in the game. Everybody did some stuff. We moved some guys in some positions. We even got Aiden Ecker out there for playing the field for 2 innings, and got him in at bat, which is great. So.
And you're going to hear about it from Lucas Costley that he ought to be batting more often.
Well, he actually thought that was an error that he got his single on, but it dropped on the ground, so it's actually a single. So we'll give him credit for a single.
Yeah, he got credit for a base hit.
Yep.
The next 2 got errors, but
yeah, but that was a hard hit. Romy hit a hard ball at left fielder, and I mean you're looking at the lights and a ball coming at you fast, and that's a tough play to make.
It is, but it still, yeah, baseball's unforgiving in some respects. That
yes, it is.
It'll come and get you. The win tonight make some interesting things in the CRBL South because you're only a half a game now behind the Eau Claire Bears, who don't have any league action through this weekend. By the end of the weekend, if you play your cards right, it could be a real good thing.
Yeah, we got tough games against Bloomer, doubleheader there. We got a plan in place for the pitching there, and we'll see if that works out for us, and hopefully we can take 2 wins there and walk away and get a good game on Monday against the Bears when they get back into town from their weekend of fun and playing baseball up north, I think. And, it's always a good rivalry. It'll be another fun game like this one type of thing. So,
well, congratulations again on a 10-0 win over the Beef River Bullfrogs, and it's off to Bloomer on Saturday.
Yes, it is.
And we will have a couple more thoughts on NLWN-TV with Talking Baseball right after this timeout.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Back here at Carson Park, where the Cavaliers are 10-0 winners over the Beef River Bullfrogs. That puts the Cavaliers at 7-2 in the CRBL South, and only a half game behind the Eau Claire Bears. Winning pitcher tonight was Andrew Milner. His record goes to 4-1, and the losing pitcher is Wes Boyarski, and he goes to 0-4. Don't forget, as we mentioned, coming up on Saturday, you should join us here on NLWN-TV as we bring you the Eau Claire Cavaliers taking on the Bloomer Woodticks in a doubleheader from the Bloomer baseball field in Bloomer. Coverage will begin at noon with the In the Dugout show, followed by all the play-by-play action. Also, be sure to join us on NLWN-2 for our coverage of vintage baseball as we bring you the Menominee Blue Caps playing baseball in the style of the 1860s. On Monday, June 23rd, we'll bring you our coverage of the Blue Caps taking on the Flat Rock Bear Clan out of Michigan and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. All taking place at the Menominee Baseball Festival the previous weekend. All those games will be on a delay basis that we bring you for the Blue Caps. Part of it's going to be we're not sure what kind of signals we're going to be able to get out of some of the places where they play, but also it lends us to the ability to bring you more of their games. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock on NLWN-2 on Monday night, June 23rd. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games by simply coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification, and the Cavaliers will be happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game has been brought to you by Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. AutoVision Center, windshield repair and replacement on North Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. And the Chippewa Valley Museum, where you can connect with the roots of the Chippewa Valley in Carson Park. Make sure you thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on NLWN-TV. So, for Seeley Bemnister on the computer and Ben Ryder on the camera, Dan Petchow giving us all of his color commentary. This is Rick Olson. That final score, once again, Cavaliers 10, Beef River Bullfrogs nothing. You've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In the heart of a small town where the rivers flow, there's a spirit rising up and it's starting to grow. Carson Park's the place where dreams come alive. Eau Claire Cavaliers, the reason we thrive. With the crack of the bat and the roar of the crowd, we spell baseball magic and we shout it out loud. For over 50 years of history, pride and cheer in this town, we're all family, the love sincere. Eau Claire Cavaliers, we wear it with pride. Big time baseball in a small town ride. From the bases to the bleachers, hear the fans sing. For the love of the game, together we bring. In this town standing tall, we always belong. With Eau Claire Cavaliers, we'll keep singing our song. Through the ups and the downs, we'll face every fight. With grit in our hearts, we'll shine ever bright. Eau Claire Cavaliers, we wear it with pride. Big time baseball in a small town ride. From the bases to the bleachers, hear the fans sing. For the love of the game, together we bring. So raise up your voices, let the stories be told. In Eau Claire's pure heart, our legacy bold. With the Cavaliers shining like stars in the night. Big time in a small town, forever in our sight.